Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Cancellable Podcast. My name is Bardia. I'm here with Kurosh.
Hey guys, what's up?
Good one. And we're here with Natalie. She's back. What do you call for yourself?
I don't know.
She's excited to be back.
Yeah.
To make more noise.
Yeah.
Put a laugh track in the background. It's Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. So I'm back. And
Back.
Faisal's okay.
Faisal's okay. When I don't say it, someone will say it.
I feel like it's like an elephant in the room, you know?
Ouch.
That's not what I meant.
That's not what she meant.
Yeah,
That's
because
not
you'd
what
say
I meant.
elephant not in the room.
I would
Oh
never.
my god, bro.
I would never say that. Okay.
To his face, I know.
Oh my god.
When you say it, when you take his
God.
place.
Okay, so obviously I've come up with the topic for today or what we're
Yes.
going to talk about.
Okay.
I thought it'd be interesting to say or ask questions that are controversial and for us to discuss them because of, you know,
Because of what?
What are you
For the
trying to
listeners.
say about
you
us,
guys
like-
are very like
Intelligent? Intellectual?
I think she wants to say opinionated.
controversial.
We're not controversial. You're the one that said black
You
smell
are
funny.
controversial. You have a podcast called The Cancel. What'd you say? What did you say?
I'm going to repeat this statement.
Repeat the statement.
You're the one that started the episode with saying black smell funny.
Black smell funny. That's so fucked
She
up.
said it. She's
The
your
way
I
you
never said
no,
it.
The thing is that you first said black people, then you said blacks. I'm like, dude, like,
I remember what she exactly
Oh,
said.
yeah.
That's why
You're like,
I don't
oh,
want to
no.
misquote her.
That's not what I said.
that's not what she
Just to
said.
be clear.
Don't do
And
it.
also, another disclaimer is that everything I'm saying or asking are stuff that I've seen like on Reddit or like online,
Uh-huh.
not my statements or anything that I would say ever.
Sure.
So I kind of want to hear them.
She
Okay.
took it down directly from a
We're
diary.
gonna
Dear Dar, I mean, my question is for you.
So I'm gonna start off light.
Okay.
Okay. Can there ever truly be gender equality?
Define gender equality.
So two genders being equal.
In what sense?
So in all senses, like you know how
No.
okay.
Sorry, continue. No, in all senses, there's no way. There's no, physical
not in
equality.
all senses,
like-
as in like we're gonna bodybuild competition together. Like no, that didn't make sense. Anyway, so no, I mean like in the sense of life in like being treated equally, being considered equal in jobs. In
See, there's this thing that everyone misunderstands, which I used to do till someone explained it to me, or I watched it on a podcast. Is the equality of outcome and equality of opportunity. A lot of people are looking for equality of outcome, meaning that, for example, you want 50% of the workforce to be female, 50% of them be male, regardless if either gender or that
No.
individual qualifies for
that's
that.
not what gender equality is.
Well, to some people it is.
Well, those people are dumb.
Well, majority of companies' policies is that now.
Company policy, but that doesn't mean that people who want gender equality want that.
Trust me,
Yeah.
a lot of them do.
But
Maybe
the
companies
whole-
no, but maybe companies do that so that they can prove that they're being whatever. Like
Yeah, the other one is equality of
Just send-
opportunity, meaning that regardless of your gender, you both, or all 78 genders, or whatever the fuck it is now, you all have equal opportunity
Don't go on
to,
that shit.
like, for example, apply for a job and based on your qualifications, you
No.
get that job.
both genders should have so as in regardless of the gender, they should be assessed in the same way.
Correct.
Rather than saying so, for example, companies maybe they have those policies because there are loads of companies out there, especially in the Middle East, who tend to hire or give more opportunities to males because they know females will one day get pregnant, have a child, potentially go on maternity leave, things like that. That is a case. So companies have these policies in place to control that aspect of
Yeah, but that's
managers
the
having
thing.
the tendency
The thing
to
you just said that, like, they leave for pregnancy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at actual surveys, majority of women after they get pregnant, they never come back to work on their own choice because they don't want to, because their priority is their life.
So what?
So as a company, when you're running a company, you're looking at your good employees as a long-term investment.
Yes, I know, but then you're generalizing. Okay, so a survey was taken.
Right.
I never took the survey, by the way. So you can't.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that you
By
can't.
the way, I didn't either. So just to clarify.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like, okay, so a survey was taken and
Right.
if some data was like concluded from that, but you can't generalize that to all women. What I mean is that like as a woman, if I want to continue working even after I have children,
Right.
I shouldn't be restricted of that opportunity just because there were a bunch of other women that took the survey and said that they don't want to do that. Do you get what I'm saying?
You won't be, but the thing with the company is let's say within a 10 or 15 year career you have with one company, you won't reach the same levels as the guy would
Why not?
because you took 3 years off in the middle. 4 years.
Who said I was going to take 3 years off? This is what I'm saying, though.
Okay,
Like,
I'm not saying that they're not going to tell you from the beginning, but if you decide, okay, let's say you have children, inshallah soon or whenever, and you name them after me or whatever, that's a different topic.
Going off topic.
How long would you like to be like with your child before you go back to work?
I don't know.
Okay, just give me an estimate.
I don't know. I don't know.
Whatever,
I don't
just
have a
make it
plan.
up.
No, like okay, but let's just take two scenarios. Okay,
Okay.
let's say imagine I answer two different ways. One, I say I want to immediately come back to work after maternity leave, which is like
Okay, then
3-6
you
months,
reach
whatever.
a certain levels.
Or another no, but that's not what I'm saying. It's not. I'm not saying I'm restricting my own like growth career-wise because I decided to take 3 years off. Of course, that's going to be the consequence.
Yeah.
I'm saying from a company's perspective, not the person's perspective. As a company's perspective, when they interview women,
Right.
okay, who are married but don't have children yet, for example,
Mm-hmm.
they would kind of try and steer away from those. From
It's
those.
not personal, it's business.
Yes, I understand that, but how do you know? How do you know what my plans are? How do you know that I'm not going to come back to work immediately
It's
after 3
about
months?
taking chances, right?
Yes, but
If
that's
you're taking chance with 100%, the guy is not going to go on
it's not fair.
maternity leave.
It's not fair.
Well, life's not fair.
Well, I guess that you answered my question, Bardia.
I mean, there is a point.
What's your
to
answer?
What he's saying because
Sorry.
it's kind of hard here. No, but
Did
seriously,
your testicles dropped yet?
no, but think about it like this.
Did you
Just
see how
like you
deeper
said-
his voice goes?
You know,
Oh, you
No, but
me
yeah,
man. I have opinion over yours.
No, but think about it like this. Like you just said, I don't know, right? Which is to his point. It's a chance. There's a chance that you will take 6 months. There's a chance you will take 3 years. There's a chance you will come back very quick. There's a chance you won't come back. You don't know. So it is a gamble, like for the company to be
me,
like,
for me.
you are as an employee an asset to the company. Therefore, your choice is reflected on the company's
not-
investment and everything.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, in that, but that's not my point that I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that you're generalizing. For some reason, okay, there is a majority of women who have taken a survey who have said that they wouldn't come back to work or they're more likely
Okay.
not to come back
By
to
the
work.
way, it's not a survey that they took. It's a survey based on stats on how many
Cool.
people did actually come back or
Okay,
didn't. But anyways,
I'm saying
yeah.
you cannot generalize because, for example, if I'm such a career-driven woman who I would take my maternity leave and I would immediately come back to work,
Right.
you know, and that would be like my sole purpose because I want to invest in myself and all of these things. I'm not given the same level of consideration as a man would because
But
a man
how?
supposedly
I've seen
that-
so many
this happens
CEOs are
in
now
Middle East.
female. There's so
just
many
because
in
you
Middle
see that
East
no but
are-
just because you see that doesn't mean like this happens a lot in the Middle East where managers and things like that, they tend to take that into consideration. That even in my performance appraisal, one of their questions was like, okay, so what are you going to do in the event that you have children, which is a fair question because they want to know career-wise where I'm going to grow and everything. But I'm saying from an interview process, men and women are not taken into consideration in the same level. And I just don't think that's fair because you're generalizing women. Yeah. Bardia?
I mean, you are generalizing women, but rightfully so. Because as a business, forget about individuals, right? Let's say there was a 30% chance that every man at the age of 40 would get prostate cancer, 60% of them will never come back to work. Then the same thing would be applicable to us, right? It would be like,
that
Right.
if you're at the age of 35, we won't hire you because we only have 5 years, so we're not going to invest our time and
Understood.
resources to training you.
and the thing with women is, I don't know in Middle East. In Middle East, maybe they're more behind. I don't know about that. But in European countries or Western countries in general, For lower positions or more entry level positions, usually it's equal opportunity. It's usually when it comes to the higher positions. When it comes to the higher positions, it's usually when people are slightly older, so they're making life decisions. And also when you're reaching those levels, the company has to know if you're an asset or not. And at that level, you're not going to take the extra chance.
Okay.
You're never going to take the extra chance.
Do they also take into consideration women who are single mothers, sole providers
Wait, so
for the
this
family?
is not part of the interview question you're saying?
Huh?
It's not part of the
No,
interview.
I don't know. I don't know if in Europe or in the Western,
I'm asking here.
in here, no, they don't ask those questions.
Okay, so yeah, it should be asked, but if the answer is yes, I'll come back, there should be a commitment to
No,
it.
but then they still have this thing. I know that even if a woman said, I'm the sole provider, I'm a single mother, I'm providing for my children, so I need this job, if that was a question on the thing, which, it isn't, they will probably also think in the back of their heads, okay, well, what if one day she does get married? Or what if she does and she stops working? That, you get what I mean? Like, women are also always in that question of like, oh, maybe she's going to be taken care of one day, so we don't want to invest in her. Like, you have to understand women's circumstances. Like, you can't just,
the solution will be a commitment clause. Like, as in, like, oh, you are committed to the
You
work.
can't. You can't.
You
What if
can't
they
do
quit their
that.
job?
You can't
What the fuck
do
you gonna
that.
do? Take them to court for quitting their
So
job?
this is what I'm talking about.
Then
Like,
there's also-
women
if
are
they-
just like,
no, because there has
well,
to be.
what
a
about men staying at home?
How often does that happen?
Well, why not?
Well, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just saying most of the cases that doesn't happen, or at least not yet. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, because of men are usually tend to be the ones that are continue working while the woman stays at home, if that's what they choose to do. But I'm
Right.
saying, like, with gender equality, in the world of gender equality, men and women would be treated the same. Maybe a man doesn't want to continue working for the rest of his life. Maybe he wants to stay at home and be a stay-at-home.
Okay.
But
No one's
right,
stopping
But
that.
I'm saying, you're saying that we're never going to get to that point. And I'm saying, yeah, but we should.
I'd read, because if you think about it, most of the CEOs and CFOs and everything, the highest positions of a company, majority of their job is risk assessment and minimizing that risk.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're talking about probability, even if you say 1 out of every 10 women that gets pregnant doesn't come back to job, that's still one less than the guy, for example, right? So it will never be 100% equal. Yes, they can close the gap and they should close the gap. But the real answer is never going to happen unless all the CEOs and CFOs are women that don't consider this as a risk and are fully understandable, which, by the way, never going to happen.
And also, that's complete opposite of gender equality.
yeah.
But I
Because there
just,
should be equality.
What do you think the solution is?
I don't know what the solution is. I think we're still so backwards for us to be able to even come close to a solution. But I think we can take small steps, like, for example, the gender pay gap.
You know that's bullshit, right? The gender pay gap.
Maybe here, but not in Europe or
It
the
definitely.
Western
Do you know
world.
what the gender pay gap is based on? It's not based on taking the career of one guy and one woman in the same career, same positions. It's based on the overall, the jobs the guys take, the jobs the women take, and based on the risk factors.
Because of the fact that women aren't tend to be given the same opportunities as
That's
men.
not true.
You just said it.
No. You
It's
should
based
have.
on-
You should have heard the rest of what it was
It's
gonna
based
say.
on the risks of the job. How many women are bricklayers? How many women are ice truck drivers that go to Alaska? It's based on the risk they take.
Oh, that's what I'm.
How many women do you know that work outdoors in high danger jobs, changing high voltage cables in the middle of fucking desert or something? Exactly. You don't know any. Most of them are men, right? So the gender pay gap, the whole bullshit they say, it's not that if you were a nurse and I was a nurse, I'd get $1, you get 96 cents for it. It's based on the overall income of the men and the females, like in the same country,
Yeah.
based on all of the jobs and based on the risk factors that take. And also the other thing is the same conversation we had before. It's based on women. The reality is, I don't care what the percentage is. Some women, after they get pregnant and have children, they don't come back to jobs. Correct? Some
Correct.
percentage. Meaning they don't go up to the certain positions that other men can get to, such as CEO, CFO, meaning they get paid more during their career. It's based on that too. So it's not the gender pay gap was the bullshit political movement
Wow,
that
that
started.
was very educational for me, to be honest.
Yeah, so that's such a bullshit left wing shit that came out of US 10 years ago.
The Swifties who came at us during the comments, feel free to go at
It
whoever
was
for this
one.
shit.
It was one bitch that wrote 4 pages of comments.
By the way,
Bitch who wrote the
she-
novel. You can go at him for
She
this.
invested
I would
so
enjoy
much
this.
time, or she or he or
By the way,
whatever.
I don't think we said anything bad about Taylor Swift. I just said it's not my
We
cup-
didn't, but
No,
like
I
Swifties,
did. I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, you don't get
that's
it.
not
Doesn't
bad.
mean she's
Just
bad.
because you don't get it doesn't mean it's bad.
Y'all are
like-
a bunch of misogynistic fucking. That's all I read.
Honestly, I just screenshotted it, sent it to the group, never read it.
I was
To
like,
this
yeah.
day, it was too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gender pay gap is a myth. I mean, it exists, but just the definition of it
Yeah.
is
No,
Yeah.
it's too
correct.
generalized
Yeah.
for shit like
Yeah.
that. All right,
Yeah.
what's the next question?
So the next one is, you're gonna love this. Fat acceptance is fine.
Fat or fact?
Fat pride is not. So
Wait, what does
we
that
should
mean?
we
No, wait.
We
This
should-
could be good.
I'm
So-
so fucked.
we
Say some shit.
we should accept fat people as because they're fat and not criticize them or say, oh my God, you're fat, you need to lose weight and you're so unhealthy and all of these things. But fat pride, as in the women that go out and say, I'm fat and I'm beautiful and promoting this kind of lifestyle, is not.
I need
accept-
to say some shit. Please.
I knew this was going to be a good one.
The thing is, I think we have different points of view on this. Interesting. Go.
All right. Listen. As the comedian genius Dave Chappelle says, you can feel like or whatever shit you want to be like. You can call yourself whatever pronouns it is up to you. It's your shit. Feel free, none of my fucking business. But it's not my job or my sole purpose to follow that shit and just comply to it. It's not my business. So I don't say anything, but at the same time, it's not my to be there for you and change my fucking pronoun game and all these stuff for. I know
Where
I'm-
are pronouns coming in from? Okay.
this is a general thing, okay? Therefore, if you're fat and you're unhappy, okay, like for example, if there's a person who's not happy with their weight, telling them and motivating them to go to the gym and make healthier choices and everything, I don't see anything wrong with it if they want it, right? If they're your really close friends, out of concern for their health, I still think it's okay to say anything. But don't bring up this shit that I'm fat, I'm beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with me and all that stuff, because that shit like has an effect on other people. Like motivates other people to just be unhealthy and just fucking die of early age and everything to pull you out of the fucking apartment with a crane. Like,
Did you
that's
see
kinda-
that? Did you see that? I was showing Barty some TikToks before of these girls on TikTok that say, "What I eat in a day as a fat person who's not trying to lose weight," and it shows like a whole like 3-minute video about this woman who's like eating all this like hot dogs for breakfast and all this stuff. But I think what it's saying is like, there's
You
a lot
get
of
my point, right?
yeah, I get your point. I think what you said is right. Like there shouldn't be any pride with being fat and obese. Not pride in that sense. I mean like pride isn't like promoting it and saying like, oh, being fat is beautiful, and even if you're fat and obese, like it's fine. Like you look beautiful and you
No,
should
go
accept
fuck
yourself.
yourself. If you're not a doctor, you can't say
I
you're
actually
fine.
disagree.
Can I say one more thing? One of the I have an issue with this whole topic in general.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, same.
So the thing is that, for example, when they brought the overweight mannequins to Nike stores and everything, at first I was like, "What the fuck?" Then I understood. As a person who's trying to lose weight and everything, you're not just going into the shop to, I don't know, see a model and everything and just get motivated by it. You need to feel accepted. I understood that point.
Okay.
At first, I had a very rigid mindset about it, but like obviously, like I thought about it and I understood it. I get it. Okay. There's a
So you think fat people are ugly?
no one said that. Like, what the fuck said that?
I'm just saying.
Oh, he was
Throw
trying to
something
some of them, yeah.
controversial.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
are.
but I mean,
Some-
like,
some thin people
So you
are
just
fucking
so
horrific.
if I got fat one day, like what would happen?
What
They'll
would
put you on a hamster wheel.
No, but like, what do you mean?
As in, I feel like you have this perspective of like, oh, fat people are ugly. And
No,
like,
I don't have fat people.
you
are
can't
ugly.
be fat and like, oh my God, if you're fat, like
If you're fat, you're unhealthy.
That's the thing I was gonna say. If you say I'm fat and beautiful, fair enough. I don't give a shit. Not my taste. Be a whale. But if you say I'm fat and healthy, That's where the issue is, because you're teaching other people that, oh, this is healthy. Doctors are changing their language because of this whole political movement. That's where it gets fucked up. If you want to be fat, be fat. If you want to lose weight, lose weight. Whatever, I don't care. But if you say I'm fat and healthy, I know I'm fat and unhealthy. Okay, which is the reality of it. There's no one on earth that can be like obese, fat, have fucking diabetes and shit, and say I'm healthy.
Yeah, but you agree with that as well. You agree with his points.
You can be fat and
That's
beautiful in
That's
someone's
exactly
eyes.
your
Yeah.
point.
That is
Literally.
my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
Because he said I have a different opinion. I'm like, no, but
No,
they're
no,
the
no.
No, because
same.
in the beginning
like-
he was so fired up. I'm like, I don't know where this is
no,
going.
but
But
if
No,
someone
no.
says I'm fat, but I'm still beautiful and everything, that's fine.
Yeah,
But they
some
they're
people
don't-
lying
are
to
into
themselves.
layers. Go for it, bro. Like, you know,
But
like,
still, if there's war, we're gonna use you as a fat shield. Like that's fine. But that's just the
No,
reality.
I
of it.
agree with you. I don't think I hate this whole like. This is the other thing that I saw on Reddit as well. Of like, fat people should stop calling themselves curvy. Like, okay, you can have like a curvy body type and everything, but if you're like obviously like fat in an unhealthy way, then you
There's a-
can't.
there's-
promote
you are
that.
curvy,
No,
but
there's
like,
a difference
no,
between
but
like a
there-
curvy person and a whiskey barrel. Like
no,
you know,
but
there's
no,
like
but
levels
it's,
to the
they're still curvy, but just the amount of curves are much more. You know, curvy
Yeah.
is curve. You know,
No, but
them
curvy-
are
no, but
There's too
like
much overlap.
plus-
Yeah, yeah.
So, for example, I'm not against plus size models. For example, plus size models in the sense of like they're called plus size because they're not like toothpicks, basically.
Yeah.
But plus size models, I think, are really nice because, and I said this to Bardia as well. Like, I feel like usually especially when women have children, for example, they obviously sometimes they gain weight and it's harder for them to lose weight if they have a slow metabolism and things like, not that they're not trying, but like being a mother is hard, like all these different circumstances. So I'm saying plus size models are actually really great because a lot of women struggle with their bodies, especially after giving birth.
You know what's
And-
the issue with the plus
yeah.
size models is that because I'm a photographer, so I watch a lot of like photography back behind the scenes and shit.
Right.
Those plus size models that you see, if you see the before and after picture, is exactly what we're talking about. That we have like curvy and then we have fat. Even the plus size models, they're always kind of like curvy and like they look okay. But if you look at the on Photoshop pictures, it's not that case. Like everything is different. So if you actually think you're beautiful and you're like curvy or fat or whatever you want to call it, then be honest with that. I understand that it's
get it.
the brand's decision and it's not the model or whatever, but whoever we're talking to, if you actually believe and if you're not blowing smoke up their asses and trying to fool the customers, if you actually believe fat and beautiful is a thing, then be honest about it. Don't even go Photoshop that as well and like bring their hips in. Yeah, it's okay. You leave the fat ass out there, but you take away the love handles and do this and that and
Yeah.
change his chin and all. I think that's deceitful.
Yeah.
But I have no issues with plus size models. Yeah, I think it's great. Even like
yeah, but
I just want to say one more thing about like the whole like women struggling with their bodies, especially after having children and everything. Having plus size models that are more like relatable to them helps them not struggle so much with like hating themselves and hating their bodies
I
because
get
it's
it.
out of their hands.
I
like,
get
it's
it,
not something
but
they can
like
deal with.
it is to the point that like you understand that like being overweight is unhealthy and you work towards it. That's all I have to say about
You work
it.
towards being healthy, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
For
But
example,
you don't have to work towards being like super fit, six pack, like toned and everything.
no one. This is unrealistic like thing. But at the same time, this is always use this example for like bunch of people who just like are attention whores. It is that like, for example, when this whole PC shit started happening, like it is like a lot of them are actually that's one of the reasons I have this whole thing with it, because like most of them are attention whores. Like they have that need for everyone to be like accepting and like, oh, you're perfect and all this stuff. No, fuck you. It's not I can have my opinion about it. So here's the thing, like for example, there's always this like the fat girl in school that everyone's like too scared to say anything. So they're like, oh, you're perfect, you're beautiful. And if the one person is quiet and not saying anything, they victimize themselves and they make everyone gang up on them for just having their opinion. This is actually true. This happens a lot because someone who didn't used to be accepted by the society is now accepted, but now it is everybody's responsibility to accept and call me perfect because that's how I should be called. No, fuck you. Okay, this is like legit my thing about it. And yes, it's okay to have plus size models, but it is not okay for plus size models to then go after the other models who are not plus size
And say you're
you're
too
this, you're
skinny or-
fucking up
yeah.
my self-image, you're fucking up this and
Yes,
Like
this.
what they
agree.
did with Adele when she lost the weight, like all
Yeah.
her comments turned into "you're a traitor."
It
like,
is
"Oh, you left us
fucking
all
insane.
behind."
The
What?
woman,
You didn't know this?
No.
When she lost weight, instead of everyone like posting like support and shit, it was a bunch of fucking fat bitches that were like hating on her for losing the weight, saying that she tricked us and like
What?
you're one of us now.
What
You're
do
not
you
one of
mean?
yeah. Or like I remember a while ago there was this video of this really really fat woman. Like she had I think she was on an airplane and she was complaining why they're charging her either 2 or 3 seats because she was that big. She's like, this is fat shaming. I should just pay the same
That's
amount.
so dumb. That's so dumb.
Like
you
when-
take up 2 or 3 seats, so like fuck.
no,
like,
just the weight. You're a fucking hazard to the flight. Like if you walk too fast from left to right, it can tip over. Like
we had to rearrange the seating area. By the way, that's what I was thinking. Like it might be upgraded to business if there's like a fat person on the left, so they put more
because
people
they,
on the
you know,
right.
but you know
Yeah.
they do that, right?
Yeah,
For
of
planes.
course. If the person is taking up 3 seats,
No,
that's
no,
an
no.
imbalance.
But
no,
you know,
but recently they escort you off the flight if you haven't booked multiple seats.
There's
mean,
whatever
obviously, like-
airline that it is. There is. I don't know. Definitely in the States.
Yeah.
Now, if you're, Shrek size, like you get a free seat.
See, that's fucked
You
up.
get a complimentary seat. So they get comfort. And you remember that guy who got dragged out of the airplane?
There's so many of them.
No, the Asian doctor and all. Remember the guy was like, he had a surgery to get to, but like whatever airline it was, they were dragging him. It was a viral fucking video on social media. This is years ago when I was on social media. But there was a doctor who was trying to make a domestic flight and he had to get to the other, like whatever state, because he had a surgery booked. So he had to go. Sorry if I'm butchering the info. But they were like, oh, we're overbooked, so you have to get off the plane. And he was resisting because he had to get to a surgery. They dragged him off, like fucked up drag him out, and like the video went viral. So there is still that thing that a doctor might miss his patient's surgery because of the overbooked flight, but in the same world that we have that, you're accommodating to the fat people's choice of life to give them complimentary seats. So more people might miss their flights.
You know how when you go to airport for your carry-on bags, they have the metal thing that you have to slide it in to see if it fits?
Yeah.
I think they should have that for people too.
no, that's too far.
What the fuck just happened?
I was trying to make
Like
No,
the zombies from Walking Dead.
I'm trying to say that like there are people who, for example, they are obese, okay, and maybe they come to the realization a little bit late in life, okay, and they want to like work towards being skinnier, not skinnier, but like healthier and whatever, like change their lifestyle and everything. So what you're just saying, they shouldn't be allowed on flights just
No.
because they're in that
I'm saying like when you go through the metal cage thing, if you don't fit, whatever the airline's policy is, either they give you your free second seat or you have to purchase the second ticket. Sort it out before you get on the plane.
Right.
Not I'm sitting there like this beside the window getting fucking squeezed to shit. By the way, that has happened to me.
Same.
Once I was flying to Birmingham and there was these 2 dudes to my left and to the right. I was right in the middle seat. Oh my god, man. They were sitting like this, try to like get themselves to be smaller. Which I
feel
appreciate,
bad, by the way,
but
because
their lats,
yeah.
I was just like sitting like this. To be fair, it was one of the most comfortable sleeps I had on the plane.
Why?
Because you know when you sleep, your neck goes like this.
Yeah.
I had nowhere to go, so it was just like.
So they actually helped
Did
you
you
out.
just sleep
right?
or you run out of oxygen?
I think it meant because I was like this.
That's
I
what
think
I'm
I cut my blood supply to
Yeah,
my brain
You're
a
like,
little bit. Yeah.
oh.
I don't know, man. I kept going out in and out of consciousness, so I think it was.
Never
sleeping.
sat in the middle seat since then. Always book aisle seat. And
Why would
even
you ever book a middle seat to begin
before
with?
I used to not book, I'm be like, fuck it, whatever, wherever
Oh
they
my
give
god,
me,
you're
they give me.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm very chill on flights. I don't care if a baby's crying beside me. Like it doesn't bother me. But this experience, I've got into like stare downs with people. You know how they come there like, oh, my family's like 2 seats back. Can you switch so I can sit beside? I'm like,
Tough luck, man.
Yeah.
I made
Sucks
that
for you.
I
mistake.
speak no
by the way.
English.
I make that mistake.
I'm
by
wearing
the
a
way.
vest.
Oh, yo, you'll be out of the airplane. Don't worry. The seat is
No,
moving.
it's just my fashion choice.
No, but that actually happened to me when I was coming to Jordan.
The vest thing?
No.
Oh my god.
I'm
that's
trying
why
to get
you-
He's
visa
never
for other
gonna come
countries.
here ever. He's never gonna fly with me ever again.
No, but when I was going to Jordan,
He's never gonna fly again.
Yeah.
That's-
Dad came that we booked 2 seats, but we have a baby and we want to sit together. Can you switch seats with us? And I just looked at him, and I looked to my left, and I was like, either I was like, fuck it, let's do it. It's like a short flight. I don't care and everything. What I didn't know was the guy was like, just. I thought he's gonna they're gonna switch to the person next to me or something like that. I got sat next to a huge dude.
Yeah.
But he's just a big guy, by the way. You can just be big, too big for you. You don't necessarily have to be fat. But if there's a Fly Dubai, like a small airplane,
Yeah.
like if you have broad shoulders and everything, you're still.
Yeah.
So the whole flight, I was like this, or actually no, I was like this because the guy was like this, huge, and the problem is that when a person is like this the whole time, and the airplanes are not chill, like breezy.
Yeah.
So you sweat. The guy didn't shower for sure for a couple of days. It stank up. I was just like the whole ride.
Yeah, that sucks.
But it's fine. It's fine. But I've been sat next to. I flight to California is 16 hours. I sat next to a big dude, big fat dude.
I once in my entire life didn't choose my seat before a flight, and I got sat in the last row of the entire
that
plane
sucks.
in the middle seat. I was between 2 people, and the person on my right smelled so bad. I kept getting waves, the kind of smell that I when you gag so much you have tears in your eyes. It was like that for like
Wait,
3
a
hours.
protest or something?
I was legit like I don't know. I feel like that was like one of the worst things to happen
I
to me
can beat
ever. By the way, but it took away. So I'm very anxious on flights. Like I hate flying. I'm Xanax, all this stuff. But that really distracted me. Like I actually completely didn't even realize that I was
Next
on a
time
plane.
I'm on the plane, I'll shit myself.
Well, the only time I've sat in the back row, I was in the back row, middle seat. Someone went in the toilet and clogged it up
Ooh.
to the point that they had. I don't know what the fuck they did in there.
Have you seen the force that
Yeah.
pushes that shit
I don't
down?
know. Maybe the flush stopped working. I don't know if it was
Yeah,
like,
'cause
Jesus.
Fat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But they came, they locked the, you know how they can again lock the door from
Yeah.
outside? They locked it and they're like, this toilet is out of service. But that shit was sitting there with no water in it. You know how the airplane toilets have no water in the bowl?
Yeah.
It was a 7-hour flight to UK. I'm sat in the back row. It's getting warm in there. The smell is coming out. I legit wanted to jump off the plane. I was like, I'd rather die. This is bad. It
This
was
is just too
so
bad.
bad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From those shit that's like minty, you open up for the nose.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I carry one of those on flights.
You
Just don't get
never
the last
know.
row.
I thought the last row was like the safest place on the
Is
plane.
that-
Safety wise, yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
you're
also
better
you
off
get
getting
to
the front of the
recline.
plane.
What?
Front of the plane and back of the plane are the safest spots.
But the back is the most safe, and then it's the front.
No, front
Yeah.
is not the safest.
yeah.
The back is the
How?
safest.
Back and front are safer than middle because planes snap from the middle. But
Excuse me?
Yo, don't. She's about to go on a flight soon, man.
Excuse me? That's never happened. Don't say this.
Okay,
Look,
I'll
stop
make it shut
talking.
up.
I don't even want to discuss this
anyways, the
anymore.
back seat is bad because you can't put your seat back. The absolute
No,
last
the back
row.
one you can. You can put it back further than the ones that are no.
The last row, you can't move it because you got the wall behind you.
New planes, maybe you can.
Maybe.
Yeah, Emirates can for sure.
Okay.
Emirates.
I don't ride anywhere but Emirates.
This is the
I
only
really
flight that
don't
leaves from
speak
here.
about-
Speaking of anxious on the flight, you want to explain that? You want to tell the story of the seaplane?
The Maldives?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god,
So,
that was bad.
You know how she's scared of? I think I've told you the story. So Nat gets very anxious on planes, to a point she's like, I don't want to go. Kind of
I want to get off.
everything's booked. I don't think I want to do this.
It's your honeymoon, right? This was your
To our honeymoon,
No, it was on the way back. So
On the way
I
back.
left the reality
so
for after.
I don't want to go. It's because I want to continue the honeymoon.
Want to stay in
Start
Maldives. And no
getting to
shit,
know
no one
each
wants to leave.
No, but here's the
No
thing.
one on that plane wanted to leave there. Okay?
No, it's not that though. Because to get to the international airport, basically wherever you are in Maldives, you have to take a boat, right?
Okay.
So for like a 1 hour is a ride. You get to another island that's just a airport island, basically.
Right.
And they come with a seaplane.
There's
they
like
grab
nothing
her.
else on this island, by the
Yeah,
way.
like basically all the boats get there, and then you get on the seaplane, and then the seaplane takes you to the mainland
Yeah.
to go to the international airport. So obviously she's a nervous flyer for normal aircrafts.
Yeah.
Think of
A seaplane.
a seaplane.
Which is like a tuna can, basically, in the air.
And it's like a lot of turbulence because it's lighter, but safe, obviously. But like, unfortunately,
Of course, you don't understand
Please
what
stop.
this does to me. Like,
I
you
do.
don't know.
That's why I'm doing it.
So she started getting so nervous, and then I was like trying to calm her down.
It was a
and
lack
everything.
of sleep for sure.
Lack of sleep because we slept at like 12, woke up at 2 a.m.,
Nice.
got on a boat, drove for an hour, like rode for
was
an
bad.
hour, all these stuff.
It was really bad.
On the plane, Nat's like full on having a panic attack. And then we land. And I'm like, thank God, everything's good, like everything like that. We get up, the air hostess is like, no, sit down. I'm like, what do you mean?
No, that's not what happened. We were sitting and she was like, oh, everyone stay seated. So I thought she meant like, oh, no one can get up yet. And then I'm like looking outside and I'm like, why are there people lining up outside? Like, I don't understand. And I asked Bardi, and Bardi asked
Air hostess.
the air hostess, and she was like, oh, and then you can explain that.
So basically, this is not what happened when we went to Maldives, but on the way back, we had to stop on another island and pick up some other people as well, and then go on that ride
Like a
again.
bus station.
So Nat was
Wait.
full on convinced that like the pain is or the torture is over.
Yeah, you don't understand the relief I felt. Like, I literally was like sweating. I was like, oh my God, thank God I'm going to kiss the
And by the
door
way,
and, like,
I'm the idiot. I'm me thinking it's over. There was a turbulence. So I'm like, fuck, this pilot sucked, right? Thinking the whole shit is over. No. We're getting up again.
the same
And she's
pilot.
like, you said the pilot's this bad. I'm like, I don't know shit about flying. So like,
I
don't
know,
take my
and
word
the more he said, I was like, oh my God, so the pilot's bad? Oh my God, what if he does a bad job? Oh my God. And I'm literally like,
She's
freaking
crying. She's like, I want to get out. I'm like, no, you're not. She's like, no, I want to get out. I'm like, I'm not letting you get off this plane. The fuck you mean? Like, I don't even know where we are. Like, get in the middle of the fucking island. Like, we don't even know what
I was
it is.
literally like unbuckling. I'm like, Barty, I'm getting off this plane. You
Thank
don't
God I was
understand.
Alcy. I kept her. I was like, no, you're not leaving. Like, you have to
I
fucking
was
move.
literally
Fucking
gonna
hostage.
do it.
Yeah, like,
And-
But you know, on major airlines, if you tell them you're having massive anxiety, they give you this liquid or pill that just knocks you the fuck
yeah,
out.
bro, it was a
Really?
seaplane. They didn't have water.
Yeah, that
like,
one,
they
yeah.
didn't have
might
water.
punch
and
you in the
then
face, knock
the
you
best
out.
part, before we took off again, she closed the door and everything.
Yeah.
Everyone's in the plane. And then Barty's like, I really have to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, what?
Yo, I was about to piss myself, right?
I was like, what?
I held it because I thought we're getting off the plane. So I'm like, I'm not gonna pee. Like, I'm not gonna whip myself. Like, fuck that. Like, I was
We're
like, nah,
adults. Like, hello.
I need to. And she was like crying. Like at this point, I'm like, Nat, like everything's okay. Just give me 5 minutes. I need to go. And I looked at her. So I'm like, she's having a panic attack. Like she's like, okay. I think she came to you, and there was a couple also.
There was a couple that saw me and they were so nice. Like, they just looked at me and they were like, do you want some water? Like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine.
No, bitch, I want to get off the plane. Shove that water up your ass.
I go to the
Use it as a
bathroom.
shut
Literally.
Come back. Guess what happened? The person behind us having like throwing up aggressively.
like that. Yeah.
And crying at the same time. I'm like, what the
Right
fuck is
behind us.
happening? I swear. She's like, remember Stewie from Family Guy? When they drank that thing that they're all throwing up, and she was like, I don't want it. Exactly that thing.
Right behind us, and the smell. and I
The
was
smell, and
literally-
I'm just like,
Did it distract you?
No, are you kidding me?
someone else was
guy?
joining in the cry.
You know, I actually once pissed all over the plane seat when I was like 12 or 13 or something, so around that age, maybe a bit younger. There was turbulence and they wouldn't let us get up. Turbulence went on for like 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm a fucking kid. I'm about to bust. My dad keeps telling the air hostess that I'll take him, I'll hold him down, nothing is gonna happen. She's like, sorry, we can't do it. My dad's like, fuck it. We had an empty water bottle and just like whip it out, start pissing. But I missed the hole because there was turbulence. The front seat, my seat, everyone got a piece. Yeah.
Everyone got a piece.
The air hostess came back and she just looked at me. I'm like,
Fair enough.
should've
You
let me-
said,
Yeah,
like-
you shouldn't let me go. Don't challenge
You're
me,
welcome.
bitch.
I listen.
You're lucky enough to take a shit.
I don't think it's gonna fit him.
No, you just take the sick bag.
I know, bro. I'm just like, imagine they show a water bottle. They're like, make sure you aim.
No, you know how after you get off the plane, they send a cleaning crew to like get it ready. They take all the trash and everything.
Yeah.
And usually people put their trash in like the basket in front of their seat.
Yeah.
Imagine a bag full of shit and just leave it in there.
Put a sticky note on it. Sorry. There was turbulence.
Sleep, don't wake me up.
That's terrible.
That's good.
You know what's funny is, Viv, sorry to bring it back again, but it was funny because when I would always told Barty like how anxious I get on planes. I don't think he understood the magnitude of how anxious I get on planes. Like I'm very claustrophobic and I'm scared of like flying. So he always said like, oh, you're fine, like you'll get over it because of COVID. You haven't been on a plane, so it's fine. Like you'll get used to it. And then I think on the way back, literally as soon as we landed, he's like, we're never doing that without Xanax again. Like, we're never doing this again.
Because afterwards, we got on the other plane, the Emirates plane,
Oh yeah.
to come back to Dubai.
And Barty's like, okay, look,
Like,
this big
everything's
plane,
great,
you're
like
fine,
chill and
like big
everything.
plane.
I was looking for like, I'm gonna take a nap, like I haven't slept because I had to like be awake. And then
I was like, I walked in the aisles and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is such a weird, because the Emirates planes that I always go to London, so it's always the A380 fancy plane and everything. So I got it, I'm like, gosh, I haven't seen like these planes in ages. She's like, the air hostess was like, oh my god, actually this is one of the oldest planes that Emirates owns. I'm like,
Oh, you should never
oldest
say that to
planes?
anyone.
Like-
Even now, I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly.
it's operating, so it's fine. Like
I was like, what? And Barty's like, you're fine, just chill. Like
I looked at him like, dude, like, you don't know what I went through, man.
Wait, have you ever flown with a female pilot?
No.
Okay, I want to ask you this from the previous conversation, but they actually did a survey with women and men. The interesting part was that even women said that they trust female pilots less, and no one knows the
Wow.
reason why. They just seem to think.
I feel like I wouldn't either. I don't really know why. I just feel like, men got
you want the
it,
honest
like,
answer, or
yeah.
Majority of
Statistically, men
women-
are better drivers.
no, drive? No,
I feel like it's a bit different.
I thought
like
you
in
were
the
gonna
air.
say that.
no.
Like,
Statistically, men perform better under pressure.
that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I
Because
can
the
understand
autopilot got it, but like when
By the
shit's
way,
going
like
on-
the female
can understand
pilots,
that.
they're definitely competent because they got to that
that. Oh,
point.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
they passed the same
definitely.
no
test,
one's
but-
saying no, but
Definitely.
like
That's the people's perception.
No, I understand that. And
Yeah.
I probably agree, actually.
I'm claustrophobic. You're like, you're the pilot.
Any like gender
Oh my
equality.
god, can you imagine how much smaller that room is?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think you'll make it to
Yeah, gender
A380,
equality goes out of the room.
Goes
when
out of
there-
the room
when
when
there's a war. By the way, someone said this. Like all these women asking for equality and everything. Let's see when the war happens.
Yeah,
and
no
they're all
one,
being
no one in
drafted.
Ukraine is asking for gender equality. I guarantee you. They're all here selling pussy.
Oh my god! Like that's not
It's the
like.
reality. Man.
So what's the next question?
Okay.
Boy,
So let's get to some of the like good stuff.
Okay,
Did
we just do 45 minutes on bad stuff. Like,
Why? So this is something I saw as well, which I thought was like, I have my own opinions on it, but I
Okay.
wanted to know what you guys thought. And the question is, why can't Black culture forgive and move on? Why do white people of the present that had nothing to do with slavery have to give you a handout?
yo,
I don't think we're qualified to answer this
that's
question.
So no, don't
Legit,
play.
honestly, I stopped listening to you after you said black people. What did you say? Can you ask the question
Actually?
again? Yeah.
So
I don't think you should repeat that question. By the way,
I don't think we're
but it
qualified
doesn't-
to answer.
It doesn't necessarily mean that we agree, but what do you think about this?
Say that again.
So why?
I don't think I'm gonna answer this.
Why can't Black culture
Yeah.
forgive and move on? Black culture is in like people who are like, oh, Black Lives Matter and like all these
We're
things.
mostly talking African American, I assume, not like
Yeah, no, but
Nairobi
no, also
and-
but also the white people who are also like Black Lives Matter and they're really like for all the like, against all the racism and stuff. Why do white people of the present that had nothing to do with slavery have to give you a handout? So that means like, for example, suddenly treating Black people like so in this like
Jesus.
cushion and stuff
I'll
like
give a
that.
very short answer.
I don't know if this is the true or not. This is what I saw.
because
and I-
racism still exists.
Based
Police
on
brutality still exists.
I know, but then
So
like for
Black
example,
lives
they
need
were
to-
saying on that same post is like, for example, if one random white person does something racist, why do we all have to bring back all the like history of slavery and all
It's
this
so
stuff?
fucked up.
I know.
That's why.
I agree. I'm with you. But I
I
just
think
wanted
it's
to
the
know what
same
you
thing
thought.
as like when you were talking about genders. I don't think it's a handout. It's they're asking for equality.
I agree. I agree with you.
But I think we should move on from this question. I don't think any of us is qualified.
I just think that the racism thing still exists, the police brutality still exists, inequality in terms of the discrimination still exists. There
Agreed.
are white people now who
Also,
are
it's not that long ago.
Yeah,
some
all-
people's
the-
grandmothers were slaves
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
That's not long
Also-
enough for them to forget. You know.
also the new generation is still the product of the older generation. So some of them do still carry their mentality, their perspective, their environment that they have grown up in. So therefore, like, it's not like it's good to be reminded. It's not that like if a black guy doesn't get the job, like there was a comedy bit, a skit, like I don't know who was the creator, but it was like a black guy didn't get the job, so it was like, oh, I didn't get the job because of this. Same thing with women and all these stuff applies when they want to play that card. But there was like, no, because there was someone much more qualified than you.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. I'm just saying it's not like that's where it should be applied. But no, police brutality still exists.
I agree.
So therefore, it needs to be still present. It's not that people just have to forget
It's
because
not just that as well. Like if you think about it, we have very, very surface level understanding of
Yeah,
this.
100%,
Please don't judge us.
100%,
But
I
from what
agree,
I
yeah.
understand, like if you look at especially in US, if you look at the prison system, it's very biased towards black people. The same sentence, the same crime that a white guy does, a black guy gets severely more punished for that. So if they said like 50% of the prison population in the US is like black or something like that. I don't remember the numbers, but the effects that has on the black culture, black section of the population. So obviously that affects the family life, that might affect the education, whatever it is. Then you look at the neighborhoods that are being underserved in terms of like education or healthcare and all of that, and they don't improve year after year by without any government interference. It might not be slavery the way it was before, but it's definitely like
Yeah.
unbalanced. So
Yeah.
I don't think they're asking for a handout. But again,
I
I
think-
don't fucking live there.
I mean, I dedefinitely agree with you. I don't think that this is something that was. I just
What
want-
Reddit page did you find
No,
this
no,
question?
no. it was. It
it
was.
is.
com-
I was gonna say, we have a K,
No.
and maybe another one, and maybe another one.
No, no, no.
Maybe a fourth one. Just
It's,
for-
I'm not saying I agree, but I wanted to know your thoughts around whether, because I feel like the person who wrote this probably feels like there are loads of people in the States specifically who kind of like walk around eggshells around like maybe African Americans or other races because of the fact that everyone's very like against racism and there's like this huge
Yeah,
uproar
but
right
look at
now.
what white people did.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I'm saying like,
no, not what they did then.
Oh.
So what they did now.
yeah, I
what they're
know.
doing
I'm
now,
just saying
like,
like
it's-
I don't know whether this person thinks that like African American or like other races get sort of like cushioned or like or what people
I
walk
know,
around
but I'm
eggshells.
saying that kind of a shit that he's talking about is the same thing that like I didn't get the job because of this, but it wasn't actually that because like the whole eggshells thing that I'm saying is because of the environment that's created that gives out this kind of scenarios. Because look at what they've done now. It's the fact that a white person can be like, I identify, fuck's sakes,
I'm retarded. Okay.
as a retarded person, I guess, but like I identify as fucking whatever, right? And how dare you do this? How dare you assume my this? How all these stuff? So more also people start walking around extras around them because they want to feel part of that whole minority and all these stuff, which is bullshit. But look at what the product, the result of that was.
But just like anything, I think, oh, this is gonna, I shouldn't say this, but probably there's a margin.
I'm just listening.
No, probably there's a certain margin of that community that are looking for handouts, but I don't think that's the case with majority of them. But that can be applied to any group. Like if you look at some minority of white people, they're looking for some outrageous shit too, you know.
That's
Yeah,
true.
whatever.
That's
But-
true.
So
question.
it's probably
Okay.
like there's some truth to it, maybe 5%, maybe 2%. I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck it is, but
Yeah.
I think majority case that's not true.
Okay.
But then again, who the fuck are we?
if you go around the
I've never even gotten their visa, so I don't know.
too soon.
America, get it. I love America.
saying the accent for sure.
You're
not
never
get-
gonna get.
No, but I'm saying like in terms of like in the current world right now, if you're going around looking for handouts, good fucking luck.
Yeah.
What's the next question?
So the last one I think that we have is or actually I have a few more, but I wanted to like the last one on this topic is
Oh shit! Not this
Can-
topic. Please no.
no, it's sort of related, but can white people experience racism?
Yes.
Yeah, they can.
They can, yeah. I mean,
They can experience it. It might not be happening for real, but they can experience.
No, but
It's
is
not
it
the
really
same-
qualified as
I guess-
racism? Like,
it's not the same degree, I guess. You
but
can
I
say
mean,
like
how
that.
is it racism though? Because
But
it's
think
just
about like
white people,
racism-
not Middle Eastern.
I know.
white people.
But racism is negative shit happening to you based on your race, right? So that's
Discrimination.
discrimination, right?
Yeah.
Just solely based on your race.
Yes.
So let's say if you're a white kid in a school with 100 people of whatever fucking ethnicity, color, or whatever, and they beat you up every day just because you're the only white kid there. That's technically racism, right? They're discriminating against you just solely based on.
True.
It's not. It doesn't carry the same weight because
it
your
doesn't.
grandma wasn't in a cotton field or whatever. But
Dude.
what? I'm saying it doesn't.
I'm No, but
Oh,
you're
I'm
right.
saying it doesn't.
No, but you're
You
right.
said it so casually.
No,
just
but
like-
he's right. But he's right, and it's like he's right as in the sense that like it's not the same degree.
Technically, it's racism,
But
but
it's
you know
tech-
who gives a shit? Like, take
yeah,
a couple of punches.
well, this is
you know?
what I mean. It's like it's not really racism though. Like you can't be like. It just feels so odd for a white person to be like, "Oh, I was discriminated against." Like what? Like you have.
No, but-
You're given the same opportunities in life.
Same shit I just said. Now, I guess this is the way they did it to come out of that whole phase of like, oh, we're the
Who's they?
racists.
What are we talking
The
about?
white people, like the white people. Look at me.
The white-
The white people in the, you know the,
What accent was that?
I don't know.
All right.
Some monkey boy shit.
What? Get
So
out.
the no,
Get out.
you get the reference.
Thank
No,
you
I
very
don't.
much.
No, I just think.
Thank you for
Shane
joining
Gillis?
us on the podcast.
Monkey bars, get it?
No.
Okay, never mind. He forgets every stand up he watches. So like, no, wait. No, I'm saying the white people. Pause. Why? What is it wrong?
Do you really want me to explain? Because
mean-
it might make it worse.
Think about what you said
Can
and
we
the
avoid-
topic
Cut.
that we're on.
So like maybe this is
No,
Think
no,
about
I'll tell you after the episode.
all right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you fucked up.
really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, I might give you the notes of like how. So the white people, for example, have always been perceived as a racist, right?
Right.
And now with this whole like gender fluidity and shit like that, now they're bringing out the shit that like they're actually the victim.
But that's
Don't
not
presume my
racism.
fucking this
But it switches the
discrimination.
topic. I get what he's saying. Like,
Yeah.
if you say, if someone says, "Oh, you're white, you did all of this for this many years, and your ancestors did this," but then suddenly, if you're a trans unicorn sucking on an exhaust pipe, as Barry put it before, then you'll be like, "No, I'm being oppressed too." But there's a whole thing on Twitter between. There's a big debate between, well, not a debate, but like a fight between women, black women, and trans women. Each group trying to say that, oh, we're more oppressed than you. Because one is, I'm a female and I'm black. One is,
female.
I'm just a woman, but like no one cares about straight women anymore. And then the other one is a trans woman that I'm newly a woman or whatever. So there's this whole like fight between, oh, who's more oppressed.
Not
were
realizing
you
that
saying
they're
before?
not realizing that they're all women, and if they were to be united, it's actually a much stronger force. But now they're actually
No, but
fighting
Barry's
amongst
original
themselves.
point is that like before you were a white woman that was married to a white guy that was oppressing everyone else. Now you're a minority because you're a white trans woman. So the white gets diluted,
So you're no longer the
oppressing.
the
Yeah.
oppressor
Yeah.
because it can be lost in like if you
So
actually
many
go
other
into
things,
it,
yeah.
you know. Yeah, but
Have you ever experienced racism?
yeah, I mean, what happened
Oh.
today was not the best.
Barry just got rejected from being able to
Travel.
enter the country of his wife.
National country.
Makes it really hard to be proud of.
Your country or your
Yeah.
husband?
Definitely not me because I got so.
It's terrible.
You're
terrible.
from there. I applied and they rejected. They were like, we don't think you're gonna come back. Like, fuck you mean? Like,
No, what they said. You don't have enough reasons to go there.
Yeah.
My wife's from there. Not good enough.
Exactly.
to all the stuff I have
Poor
here.
grandparents.
Like, so yeah, that was pretty fucking racist. I'll say that. But other than that, no, not really. Like in the States, I was in California, so like California is very mixed, kind of a like of minorities and everything.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's just a melting pot.
yeah, it's just like all kinds. So like I was like not really nothing racist there.
Texas.
They called me Fresh Prince of Persia and then Fresh Prince of Dubai. So
That's actually it's a compliment, no?
yep, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
saying like it
Yeah.
was dope. Like nothing wrong with that. So yeah, and in Iran, basically, like there's no racism in Iran. Like you're, yeah, we
We
all
don't have enough races. To
no, we have
racism.
different colors. Like you have like from like legit, you go from like the whole spectrum from north to south. Like completely the color changes.
It's
but-
different levels of tan. It's not like we have like
No, like we have
Viking white and black. Like
we have like Ruzba's like white, and he's from like
oh,
up
but he's
north.
not like Scandinavian white, you know.
No, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we don't have the oppressor kind of white kind of shit, but like we have like white, and then we have the don't get this.
I didn't say
I'm just
anything.
imagining like you go buy like a pencil case for like coloring shit. It's like, what color white is that? It's oppressor white.
I was gonna say the other part was better not to put. And then like the south, like we do have
You can paint
very,
over any
very-
other color. It's just
like any.
it takes over.
It like absorbs basically. And yeah, what about you? You for sure.
Yeah, in UK twice.
Okay.
Twice or 3 times actually. One time it wasn't like they didn't say anything racist to me, but the looks was pretty racist because I think I've said this on a podcast before. But the town I lived in, there was a lot of like 60-year-old above like white people, and every time we'd get on the bus and it was like full of white people, and I would get on with how I looked like in a backpack and shit, everyone would like look at me like 3, 2, 1. Yeah. It was that
Let me
time.
make a call first. I love you.
Yeah. Someone called me a sand N-word.
But in a
No, in a funny way.
oh.
Weird to even say- How do you say it in a
But let,
funny way? But
let me give a bit of back.
Yeah.
So basically, people who are from Middle East, not people, everyone, some use that and say it's okay for us to use the N word because we are sand N word, and for sure, fucking no, because your grandparents didn't like enslaved in the desert or anything.
Yeah.
So that's definitely not true. But the only time I heard it was like like instead of how
it's like thermal endearment.
yeah, but
Yeah, that one definitely wasn't like the way the guy said it. It was like
oh, he just
build the wall type of shit.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the other time was in Oxford. Me and my other friend that kind of looks like me, we went to buy alcohol, and then there was this cashier who was like maybe like a 50, 60-year-old white guy, and he straight up said that we don't serve you. We don't serve you people. Like, get out. Yeah, which was really funny because
Wait, what were you buying?
alcohol. Yeah, from a grocery, like normal grocery shop.
He should have probably been like, oh yes,
We got one of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
convert.
Yeah.
But
So weird.
what about you?
No. No, I don't think I look very Arab, to be honest, or very Middle Eastern at all. I think I'm probably the whitest looking person.
You have the 50% white oppressor in you.
Yes, I'm literally 50% like Palestinian, 50% so British. So like, but yeah, I don't think
It's okay, it balances out.
I've never really
Oppressor.
experienced.
Oppressor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Applying for a visa was actually a very interesting process because I'm like, what's that like?
Well, for him,
Yeah.
I thought you. Yeah, it's unfamiliar,
Yeah,
isn't it?
What is this peasant stuff that you have to go through?
I can't wait to go to Turkey.
All I have to do is walk in a different line. Like I don't have to like
By the way-
provide like
No,
my
no,
kids.
By the way, it's
There's-
shorter. The line is shorter.
So what? Like
No, your line
for
is shorter.
me?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah. But do you have
Even
any-
then, we win.
well, if history's shown anything, is you guys been winning for a while.
Wait.
Not now
no,
anymore,
I'm not
but-
very like
King
I
Charles
feel like
here.
my Arab side is more dominant than my like.
Slaver side.
I'm half Palestinian, by the way. I just want to mention that.
Yeah, the other half I'm talking about.
Obviously not that one.
Obviously not. Yeah, obviously not.
Do you have any other questions before this gets dicey?
No, I do
Before it
actually. I do have another question regarding gender.
Two of them.
Genders.
Two of them.
Two
Huh?
genders.
It's two.
No,
Don't stop now.
Okay.
Don't bring up that.
Wait, what's your question?
I'm not bringing it up. It's
two genders.
people have the right to express whatever gender.
On their own.
And there's a
Doesn't
difference
necessarily
between
mean I have
gender
to.
identity and gender expression.
What the fuck?
Gender
are we talking about?
identity is when you identify as either one gender or both, or you're gender fluid. Gender expression is, for example, I could identify as like non-binary, which means I don't identify as either male or female, but my gender expression is female. So I'm still feminine, but I don't identify as either a man or a woman.
What the fuck just happened?
See, that's some white part of you talking right now. That's some white people
No,
shit that
I
you're
don't-
bringing
like,
into this podcast.
I don't
and
agree
I'm not
with-
with it.
No. I'm just kidding
Wait,
around.
so,
Like I'm joking.
hold
But
on.
this is what I heard on
Say that
someone.
again. You got gender expression and gender identity?
So I was curious what goes through the minds of these people that think this way, because I don't understand it. So someone was explaining that there's a difference between gender identity and gender expression. So
Okay.
gender identity is your identity, like whether you're a male or a female or non-binary or gender fluid or whatever, or your gender expression. Your gender expression is, what do you express? Do you express feminine
Like energy?
on the feminine side, or do you dress more femininely? Do you dress more masculine? You know,
But isn't there a whole thing that if you're non-binary, you don't believe in
not that
female
you
and
don't
male?
believe. It's just you don't feel like a man or a woman specifically.
Well, how
Can we
can you-
actually look into this shit to see like how this?
it's
there's
not like
no
there's-
way.
there's no
past
scientific
1
paper on
year. No, there's no fucking way. In the past 1 year, 75 fucking genders just came out of fucking
It's not the
nowhere.
past year, man. It's been like
Who the
10
fuck
years.
opened the Pandora's box? Like, who the fuck let this shit out? Like, what the fuck is that? No, there are only two genders. No, this expression shit. Like,
Okay,
No, but
so,
I get what she means because you can't. No, I don't mean with the non-binary shit. But like, you can be your birth sex is a male,
Okay.
but you have more feminine characteristics.
Okay.
yes, that's
So
different. Yeah,
Which one is that one?
gender
Ident-
expression.
Your gender expression
Yeah,
would
you're
be feminine.
feminine. That's it.
That's your
Yeah,
gender expression.
That's an,
Yeah, just put
Right? Yeah.
the-
Just
the-
because I
just
like,
because you have bad
just
vocabulary.
because I'm a woman doesn't mean my gender expression is female.
Yeah. So what they
It's called
use-
being a lesbian. That's like that's a lesbian. In
I was
case the
gonna say-
vocabulary didn't count that shit.
I was
But
gonna say they used to call him tomboys, not a lesbian, but
Yeah.
like, listen, some people can be more feminine, and we actually have straight friends who have feminine like behavior.
So their gender expression is
I'm
feminine.
not giving into this kind of shit. Like
it's
it
just
is
they're
what it
called,
is.
just giving it a name. What's wrong
No,
with that?
because then it's just the second you label something and people start accepting something, that's when this leads to more shit spiraling from it. You know, like the second people started accepting all the fucking alphabet letters, right? Like they were like, oh, then there's a plus. What, you couldn't come up with
So,
another name, so
no,
you just
but-
put a
Oh,
plus?
No,
they came
but-
up with the names. Trust me.
No,
They
yeah,
all
I
have
know.
names.
That has nothing to do with that. That's sexual identity. That's totally different than what I've just
No,
mentioned.
I can't.
Alright, he's getting a headache.
Okay, and other than that, even if I'm non-binary and my gender expression is feminine, my pronouns could be he, him.
I will call you whatever pronoun I want to.
No,
Because
but if I'm
I'm
telling
not obligated
you,
to call you whatever pronoun you want.
yes, but do you know how traumatic that is for my
I don't
anxiety?
give a fuck.
That's his
If
whole
someone gets traumatized, I'm actually serious when I say. I know you're trying to like
I'm joking.
just
I
fuck
am
with
just
me,
trying
but
to
like
trigger
it is
you.
like
It's
true.
working. Keep
No,
going.
But I'm serious. Like if someone gets traumatized from being called a specific pronoun, whatever, and remember there was this motherfucker on social media. I saw his fucking videos. I don't know who it was. I think it was I don't know, podcast, whatever it was. And this motherfucker had, I think it was, anyways, he would put his phone in front of him and eat, right? And then a waiter came
Oh,
And it was YMH, I think.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was, and then the person said he or something, and she was like, she said that I want to be called a she, right? And then the video went on in different restaurants. So what this dude is doing is putting his phone there like this, waiting for something like that, captured on video, and make a fucking video of it and get fucking likes and like comments. Oh my god, you're amazing.
It's gonna
Don't
swing
listen.
back. It's
So
gonna swing
brave.
back.
It's gonna
So brave.
swing like a,
Yeah, but
So
it's
brave.
it's gonna swing too far.
wait, just if you get traumatized by the fact that someone calls you,
No,
no, wait. No. This is what some white people shit to the fucking T, and let me tell you why. None of them have our names. A whole life, no one has said my name correctly. You know, if I were to be traumatized by someone not calling me by the right name, by the age of 2, I would have fucking like ended it. You know, so like if
Dark 2-year-old.
if death. so here's the thing:
I
if
feel
you
like
get,
you broke him. That he's having
know,
like
I
a
don't
if
know
you
what's
get
happening.
traumatized by
Having
the
a
fact that
seizure.
someone calling you a different pronoun,
You should die.
you should not
no,
be
no,
part
wait,
of the.
Wait. If for example you assume my pronouns, okay, let's say my pronouns are they them, okay, and you assume my pronouns based on my appearance and my gender expression, which is female, and you say she her, okay, and I then clarify to you like, listen, my pronouns are not she her, my pronouns are they them, okay, then you need to respect that.
No. There's a difference.
No, you have to.
No,
There's
why?
a,
the fuck?
there's a psychologist in Canada that went to their version of Supreme Court over this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between having the choice to respect that person on an individual level, and there's a law because Canada was trying to pass a law against it that if you misgendered someone, they could take you to court and get money out of you.
Yeah.
No, fuck you.
Kidding. I'm just trying to trigger you, by the way, all of you.
No, well, I'm good.
Good job.
It's working on Barty. But I think on an individual level, yeah, you can be a nice person and respect that. Or if you don't want to bother, just ask them for their name and say whatever you want. But that's an individual thing. I don't have to do it. If I think you're a crazy person and you identify as a chair and you want me to recognize you as a chair, go fuck yourself. But if I like you as an individual, I might be able to get over that and respect you as an individual. But if you want to apply a rule on me, go fuck
No,
yourself.
not a rule, but I would really like it if you would call me Zer, for example.
I understand, and I would really like a Lamborghini, but neither of us is getting it, are we? I think we should end the podcast here now.
No,
What do you
wait.
think?
There's more shit to this because if you give into, why am I so angry?
Can I just ask one
No,
last
no,
question?
I
Before we end the podcast,
no.
please.
We're not ending the podcast. I'm trying to
Can
say
I-
something.
Before you to say, you know how like some gay people like they go like when they're in the closet they go super getaway. They're like, oh, this is against whatever. Isn't he kind of acting?
Imagine I come out like actually it was all fun.
I'm a Zimzer.
It's not a Zimzam. We were. So there's so many bad consequences to shit like this. Okay. I'm just trying to be calm. Because it has led to people, there are legit white people who identify as a black person. There are people like
Yeah,
that.
I know.
There are people who identify as an animal. There are people who identify as a child.
No.
Yeah.
And fuck
Younger.
other children. Yeah.
And
Oh my God. I
they
don't want to
go
talk about
and
that.
no, if you start accepting this, then why aren't you accepting the animal thing? And if you're accepting
Understood.
these two, then
I
why aren't you
understand.
accepting the child one?
So
I'm still on my point.
I think if someone identifies as a dog,
I was
put them on a plane, send them to China. See
Yeah.
how they treat the dogs.
enjoy
Okay.
dog festival, bitch.
what's
Like,
the rest of your point?
the thing is that the second you start giving into these stuff, that person who identifies as a child, right, goes and fucks children.
Yeah.
That is the cause of all
Yeah,
these
I
actions.
understand.
If a white person can identify as a black person and be like, I'm offended because I identify. What the fuck is with that word that gives me a stroke? But I identify as this, so I'm offended too and everything. It is insanely disrespectful to the shit that they've been through. and you're just like mixing yourself with it because you identify with it. These are all psychological problems.
I understand.
There's nothing healthy. Like we're just talking about like a whole fat thing. Like I was saying that like being fat, like if you're fat and like whatever, like as long as you understand that there are unhealthy shit to it and you have to work on it, it's the same thing as this. This is mental health. Like people are promoting to be mentally ill right now. This is fucked up. Like there's nothing like about it that's like accepting of anything like that.
You know, I just realized, I just understood gun people in US. You know how you were saying that like, oh, if you accept this, it will lead to this?
Yeah.
Their whole argument was that if you try to like make the gun laws more strict, it's
Then-
going to lead to them not being able to get their guns.
Yeah.
I never understood that. I think I
mean,
just got that.
very wrong way of taking my message, brother. But like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So,
you were
What's
saying-
your follow-up
I do
question?
have a question.
Guns,
so,
guns, guns.
Honestly,
Give me a visa, please. Definitely.
so I do have a legitimate question, like on a serious note. Okay, individually, you each have to answer,
don't
and this is
believe you.
a lot of pressure on you, by the way. So,
The mic doesn't pick up the sound, by the way. So
okay, so if you genuinely, okay, inshallah, one day, if you ever have children, if your child comes up to you, and because obviously a lot of the consequences of these things becoming more like present in life and stuff, and it exists here, even though we're in the Middle East and we're in UAE and all these things, they do exist. Okay. And as we go through the years, it's going to become more and more present in our children's lives, potentially. If your child comes up to you and genuinely tells you, I identify as non-binary, and I would be offended if you called me she, her, and I want you to call me they, them, or whatever, what would be your response?
Initially, before I have a stroke, it would be ask them to explain what they mean.
Okay.
If they can explain it, whatever, they're my kid. I don't know what the fuck I did wrong that I've raised them that way, but I clearly fucked up. But
And you would accept them?
I don't have a
mean,
choice. It's my
yeah.
kid. But I'd definitely make them understand that the world is not going to bend to their bullshit. At that, it is
Right,
bullshit.
but at the end, this is your child. So
Doesn't matter.
For example, no, I know, but even if you explain all of that, your child is living in an environment, especially with their friends, where they're saying, I am entitled to this pronoun and I'm
Take 'em to a
entitled
different
to
country.
everyone to be respected. No, but where are you going to go? It's
Fucking-
everywhere.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I guarantee you there's none of that in Iran.
Where are you going to go, Iran?
Fuck yeah. If it's between that or
Yeah, but it's
identify
too
my
late by then. But it's too late by
No,
then. It is too
it'll
late.
come out of them. Trust
It
me.
is. It's too late.
No,
I'm telling you.
No, I'm telling you, it's not because there's so many trans
If
people
they're like
that
16,
actually.
17, what are you going to do?
There's
It's
so
gone.
many trans
That's it.
people that identified as a trans. They thought they wanted. They got the sex change, and then 10 years later realized that it was just social pressure and they didn't want it. There's a whole bunch of documentaries on it.
Okay.
And that's an actual thing. Non-binary is not an actual thing. Okay. First of all, as a parent, I should kill myself if my kid got to that point. It means I fucked up to the non-binary thing. Because
Yeah, but it's
not
not about.
always
It's
on
not
you.
about. But it's not on you.
No, it's
Kids-
definitely on me.
No, they spend
kids
majority
get
of the
to a
time
point-
in school.
Exactly,
like,
with
all
their
this stuff.
friends. Kids get exposed at a certain age. They become more accustomed to their
honestly, I don't
friends
know what I
rather
would do.
than parents.
I honestly don't know what's.
Yeah.
My hope is that the pendulum is gonna swing the other way by the time I have kids. Because I don't think this whole Zimzer shit is gonna last more than 5 years.
No, I won't.
I think that's it. If you even look at the you guys can't see it, but Barry is shaking his leg aggressively, like someone's gonna get beat up. It ain't me, so
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But if you even look at the politicians and like every country, this recent election, the most recent election in every country, everyone is going super right wing because of all of this shit. Everyone's fed up in every country, South America,
The thing
Europe.
is, if
Maybe that
everyone's
was
fed
the
up,
plan.
who are the people that are so for this like stuff? Like everyone is so.
Russia.
No, I'm saying like everyone is so fed up with all of this Zer or whatever non-binary stuff. I don't understand. If everyone's fed up, which I think majority of people are. Who are the people? Why? How
Go
are they?
on-
How are they so empowered to continue
Go
with
on
this
TikTok.
stuff?
Go on X. Like all these fucking people.
No, but how are they
talking.
empowered so much?
Because
for this
because
stuff?
There's
you
financial
say
incentive.
majority and there's so many and like there are actually so many of them and like You say then don't say my answer.
There's financial reasons behind it why these agendas get pushed. There was Joe Rogan was talking about this. There was a Russian FSB agent. You know what FSB is? It's like MI5 or CIA version of Russia. That I think in 1980s or 70s, US took him in as a refugee basically, and he was talking about the long-term plan that Russia has for US. And in this 12-minute video, he lays out a 4-step plan that takes 20 years on how they will demolish US. And if you watch the video step by step, everything they laid out, I think right now it's stage 3 or 4, and one of it was the gender identity shit. So like people think
There's Patrick, but David, not Rogan. By the way.
No, Rogan too.
Oh, okay.
But I forgot the name of the guy. If I find his name, I'll put a link to his video. But so it started by everyone suspects that it's these outside reasons for it, and now there's like financial motive for certain movement to get pushed because there's money people elect politicians fucking say whatever bullshit they have to say to get the money from them. So it's not actually that many people. Like if you look at the population of US, like if you look at the super leftist people and the super rightist people is a very minority group of people. They're just loud on the internet. But in reality, that's not the case. That's why all the politicians of the world are swinging left now, swinging right now. You look at Europe, you look at South America, obviously North America a couple of years ago. It's just going to shit. And it's a pendulum. It's going to go this way. It's going to swing back. In the 70s, it went this way, not this far, but it went this way with the whole hippie movement and the LSD and all that shit.
Yeah.
Then it swung back. It's going to swing back, and I'm hoping, because when it swings the other way, I think it's a lot easier to raise your children in it.
Definitely.
Because the other way, it's very like strict. Usually it turns religious, and it's very like strict rules. I'm not saying I'm a religious person because I'm not, but it's a lot easier to make a kid understand those religious beliefs, either for or against, depending on the family. But this whole non-binary bullshit, that's why like when I was younger, I would think about having kids. I always hated the idea of homeschooling. I'm really up for it now. Because fuck this bullshit. Yeah. Because if you look at like the shit that's happening in US, like the sexual stuff they're teaching to kids in school,
I know.
about lesbians and gays
really
and like
bad,
pictures and pushing that ideology. I think I'd rather my kid don't develop their social skills as well as they would in school, rather than being like
pushed into something like
I'd
that.
kill teachers. That if my kid comes home and shows me a picture like, oh, my teacher told me to go suck a dick, basically. Well, that teacher's gonna suck a dick.
Did you not see the video of the parent who showed up at school and was tearing down that pride flag and was saying, I'm paying like so much money for you to teach my kid about pride and all this stuff rather than actual education?
Yeah, homeschool them. Get private tutors.
I mean, yeah.
And then put them in sport classes to socialize with other kids.
Yeah.
Because fuck that. You can't battle
and you can't go back. There's a certain point where like your kid goes against you in a way.
Go raise your kid in the middle of a jungle in like Philippines or something when they actually have proper values and not this bullshit. And they actually understand the value of life. Not I'm a fucking chair. You're a chair, I'm gonna sit on you. See how long your legs can hold on. Yeah. Well, I think it was Sebastian Maniscalco in one of his specials. He was saying that in his kid's school, some kid identifies as a lion, and he was saying, okay, put that fucking bitch in a cage and throw raw meat at it and see how long they're going to be a lion for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's your answer, Mr. Father of my future children?
We are moving back to Iran today.
Pack your bags.
Yeah.
It depends on the time, just like you said. Like it's about like how is it like. Has it swung back? Is it more equal now and everything like that? But I think first thing I would do is like check what's the law at the time, because if in Canada they were trying to pass a bill that like if you say the wrong pronouns, so what if the kid is 16, 17, there is a law that if your parent doesn't respect or whatever value your fucking like pronouns or whatever shit like that, you get to be separated. Like there's a
emancipated.
Weird word, but
you divorce your parents. Basically,
you divorce your parents. So kind of shit like that and everything, which is like horrible. if you really
Yeah,
think
it's
about it.
devastating, of course.
So like I would check the laws for that. Like be aware of these stuff. Second thing, just like he said, is that like try to fully understand their mindset, because at the end it is your kid. Like I want to know like what's causing them to believe such a thing, and if there is any logic that we can talk to them. But I won't like, if you push too hard against it, you're pushing that person into that environment
Exactly.
more. But if you accept it, you're done. Like you full
can't go
on
back,
like
yeah.
you can't go back. So kind of standing on a neutral base of like trying to understand it, not giving in too much, but at the same
saying
time
you
not
accept
pushing,
it,
not
yeah.
accepting.
At the end
it,
of the
but
day,
not
you can
rejecting.
always make another one, you know. Yep.
It's not like clothes. Like you can't
So
just like.
if you're listening to this podcast in the future, you better fucking ass the
Raise
fuck
your
up.
kids right, man. Beat them.
Yeah.
There's an argument. There's an argument for beating.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Imagine your kid identifies as a chair. You bring out the fucking bandsaw. You're like, oh, I want to cut the legs. I wanna see how big of a chair you are. I'm gonna turn you into a boat.
Oh my god.
I'm like, great, I can use you to hit over the teacher's fucking head.
Hang them on top of the tree. It's like you're a bird feed now. Put seeds in their pants. Well, on that note, should we end it?
Let's do it.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of the podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also check out our social media channels. And we will see you next Sunday. Thank you, Nat, for being with us as well.
Thank
Always,
you
of
for the
course.
great,
Faisal, you were missed
and yes,
and replaced.
thank you guys. Bye bye.
Bye.